Hello, welcome to another video. So we're going to start building some props, new props for this year. So I saw on the internet someone had made a globe, and I thought, that looks nice. I could make use of that. I've got 3 hanging baskets across the front of the house, and be nice to have 3 globes. And because we do a Halloween and a Christmas display, we could make them dual purpose. So for Halloween we can make them pumpkins, and for Christmas they could be Christmas globes. So I did a bit of research and thought I'd have a go at making one. So I made the first prototype and used the Mega Tree strips to make the strips on the globe, but it's not really strong enough to support the pixel weight, so it was a bit floppy. So I'll put a picture on so you can see the result, so you can have a look. So then we go back to the drawing board and think, right, we need something that's a little bit stronger, so it takes and keeps its shape. So I came up with this. This is the trunking. I use this trunking to do the surrounds on my windows and across the top of the house on the apex. I actually use this version, which is a bit deeper, so this gets bolted to the either around the windows or along the apex, and we drill out the 12mm pixel holes, space them appropriately. This then can lift off, and we just push the pixels through, glue them, and then they can stay permanently attached to the house, so we don't have to keep getting up and down each Halloween or Christmas. So I thought, okay, maybe that's something we could make use of. Now obviously you have to buy this with the bottom and the top, and I didn't want to spend too much money getting the full size stuff, so I had a look at the supplier I use, and they actually do this thinner stuff, but it's the same top. And I thought, because I'm going to pretty much, no, I'm not going to use the back section, so I bought some strips of this, and like I say, this peels off, and it looks like it's going to do the job for me. So we needed some of these, and for the actual support for the globe, I've got this 12mm threaded bar, and then because they're going to hang on to the hanging baskets, I thought we could do with these like lifting eyes. So this is 12mm threaded, so I've thread locked that onto the end, and by using some washers and nuts, I was able to make up the strips, and this is the strips. So the idea was that the first hole, it would go on to the top, and then the bottom hole would go onto there, and you tighten the nuts up against them, and then put pixels all the way around. So like I say, the theory's there, but it's just too flimsy, so that's why we went for the trunking lid. And then I thought, maybe if I put some more pixels in, make them a bit bigger. So the plan is to make these 3 a bit bigger. So I've had to get hold of an extension bar and a coupler. So the plan is to thread lock that on, with this, and then make it a bigger globe, but still use the same nuts. And the bottom nut, I've just used a nylock nut here. So what I'm going to do is do a time-lapse video of building this globe. Hopefully you enjoy it. Right, clear the table off. It's a bit dusty because we're doing quite a lot of building of props at the moment, so it's taking up a lot of time. There's so much to do. This is, here we go. This is an example of the track with the holes marked and cut out. Now these are for the window surrounds, which will be in a separate video. But they're all marked so we can get the lights in them, get them fitted. So it's a similar thing for the globe. So first thing that I had to do was decide on the length. So I got a piece of the backing and measured it out, and then marked off exactly where I need to cut. So I get a piece of the strip, line it up here, click it in place, and then cut where this mark is here. So we need 4 lengths of this to make a globe. So I'll get a piece of that and we'll do a video. Right, we have a piece of, this is 3 meter length strip, so I've fitted it into the trunking so it's flush at the one end, and we now have the marker. So to trim this down, what I decided to do was use one of these mitre boxes, and this one has got obviously the 2 mitres, but it's also got a straight cut here as well. So what I do is line up the slots that are cut in the trunking with the straight mitre, and then we use the hacksaw just to cut through the lid. There we go. So that's the first one there. So I can now take the excess piece away, take the mitre away, and the saw. So we now have that's trimmed to that end, and we're flush on the other end. So that now is the exact length that we need for the globe. So I'll remove that from there, and I need to repeat that 4 times. So I'll do that and I'll be back shortly. Right, that's the 4 strips all cut to length. So what we need to do now is mark them up. So I'm just going to move these 3 out the way for now, and then I will mark one of these up. So what I'll do is get some of this Mega Tree strip. You know, nothing goes to waste. I mean, the backs of these trunkings, I'll keep those because you never know, they may come in at some point. So lay that down over the top, down the centre of the trunking, and then with the trusty permanent marker, do the circles. So we're getting the correct spacing. All the way down I mean, a lot of props you can buy, you know, and if you don't have the time to make your own, you can buy them. But it's quite satisfying making your own props and, you know, modifying them over time. So let's get rid of that. Right, so we have the strips ready. So what we need to do then is drill the 12mm pixel holes. So what I do is I start with some like a 4mm bit and just do a pilot hole first. So then we have a pilot hole. So if we do on another one, once you've got all your pilot holes done, you can swap that bit for a 12mm because the pixels are 12mm. So, and then drill those out to 12mm. Now these are quite strong drill bits, so they can bite, so it pays to take time. Maybe. There we go. So there's two pixel holes, and got some. These are blown pixels. Yeah, I've got one in here. Look, see, you can see how black the chip is in there. That was from the Mega Tree. So we've got the holes, so you can then push your pixels in and they stay in. There we go. Now I normally get the hot glue gun and just run a bit of glue around the back there as well. So I'm going to mark up and drill the other three, and I'll be back after that. There we are. So drilled, marked. You might get the odd burr, but you can get those off. It does make quite a mess, but it's easy to clean up. So we now have the strip that's ready. Now at the ends and in the middle, these are going to overlap. So we've got the clip here that clips in. So what I tend to do is about the, and then this section of clip here. There we go. So from about here we need to remove this, so it's just the thin plastic, the end of the profile. So I thought, how can we get rid of this? So, you know, if we trim it down with a knife, but you know, it's quite risky with a Stanley knife, because if you slip, you know, you could cut through this or cut yourself. So my preferred option was to sand it down, sand it off until it ramps down a little bit and then is flush with the back piece there. Now that can get quite messy with the dust, so you know, you need to protect against that. So I'm going to sand that off, and I'll do one of those so you can see how that's done. So the first attempt was done with an orbital sander, and a lot of mess. So I've dug out the band sander, and you can see there's a lot of dust on there. So I'm going to show you the next one, and show you what needs to be done. Okay, that's the first one done. So I'll put that sander on the lowest speed it can go, and then just run the profile over the top. So what we're doing is we're just taking off the clips to the second hole. So you can see on there, I haven't taken them completely flush, just took off the majority of there. So we do that on each end, and we do it on the middle hole from here to here. So we just take off that surface. So when these are stacked on top of each other, they squash up nicely, because this, with this lip on, it would make it quite thick. And then obviously this end. So we do that on all four. So I'll do those and be back. Right, so we have all four of these strips all sanded, marked, drilled to the right. So let's get these four together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get these on top of each other here and get them lined up. There we go. So that's the middle one. So let's start off with the bar. So I'm going to put the washer on here. Line up these centre holes. And we're going to put these strips on. So there's one, there's two, there's three, there's four. Right, so I'll pull those all to the end there. Then we put another washer on. And then we put a nut on. And we take the nut all the way to the end. Okay. Now we don't do it up yet, because we want to get the other end on, space them out properly. So we just pull it up. There we go. Right. Now we want to do the joint. So we have some thread lock. I'll just put a dab of thread lock on there. And then wind this coupler up. Now, obviously version 1, like I say, was a smaller globe, and it just didn't look big enough. So version 2, we upgraded the strips and changed the length of the strips, which meant we had to change the length of the centre bar. Right, so what I want to do is grip onto this. And then tighten up this till it's about halfway. So that the threaded shaft is about halfway through the coupler. Still a bit way to go yet. Nearly there. Okay. That's far enough. So then we get the other threaded bar and we put a little bit of thread lock on there and wind that into the other end. We don't want this to spin. There we go. So that's nice and secure. Then we need another locking nut. Take that down a certain way. Another washer. And then let's just put the lid on this thread lock so it doesn't dry out. So what we do then is we take one strip, bring that over, the other side, bring that over, turn it slightly, bring the next strip, bring that over, there we go, turn it slightly, bring the next strip over, bring the corresponding side, turn it again, bring the next strip, and then the last. There we go. So I'm just going to press these. There we go. Put the last washer on, and then this is the nylock nut. We'll pull this down, and then just going to do up the nylock. So as the nylon is all the way onto the thread. There we go. Okay. Right, so we have our globe, and now what we want to do is open it up so you have a cross and then the other ones in between. So space those out, that looks about right, and then align up this eye with one strip. Now we can tighten up the nuts on the back. So that's that end. And that end. So I'm just going to knit these up as tight as I can. So this will tighten down onto the strips, and if we spin it over, now just make sure that these are all evenly spaced. I want to turn slightly. Tighten this bottom one. Well, this is the top one really. There we go. Tighten that as tight as we can. There we go. Right, that is the globe slash pumpkin. So I've got my so what I do now is this one in line with the pumpkin is number 1, so I'm going to put number 1 on there. This one is number 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this is your first hole, and we go up onto number 2, down onto number 3, up with the pixels. So if I get the start of the pixels, so we take number 1, we've got the start of a string of pixels here, so push that in, number 1. Number 2. Pixel 3. Pixel 4. Pixel 5. Now the glue or the sealant on these pixels, sometimes the cables are a bit tight. Let's see if we can see one. There, so the cables have actually been glued, so I just pull them apart. That's it, just so they reach. No, don't go too mad, because you don't want to break the seal into the pixel, because water will get in. So we've gone all the way up to the top, and then we switch over to strip number 2. Number 3. There we go. And then we come all the way down. Now obviously how you wire these, you've got to match your prop in your software, otherwise it won't work. Well, it'll work, but it won't look right. So just untangle these. So we've got 64 pixels in each of these globes, and we've got 3 globes. Okay. Right, that's to the end of arm 2. We then go into arm 3. And arm 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8. So 3 more pixels here on this segment of, and And I need to get another strip of pixels connected. Now, I don't use these connectors. What I do is solder and waterproof heat shrink them, because they're obviously going to be outside for the month of December, so it all needs to be waterproof. So we've gone down 1, 2, 3. So that is basically my globe. So let's just put that on the side. I need to get another strip of pixels. So I'll grab another set of pixels and be right back. Right, so we've put in every pixel. Let's just see if we can zoom out a little bit. There we go. That's better. Right, so you can see we have pixels in all the globes, all the way around. So now that's ready for testing. So let me get my little test box and I'll be right back. Okay, we've got it connected to the text box. Let's turn that on and have a look. There we go. As you can see, we have our lights. Let's turn the workshop light off so as we can see. There we go. So that's looking straight from the top. And if we look from the side, see the chasing effects. There we go. So, got another 2 of these to build, but they certainly look a lot better than version 1. So once they're up and running, we'll do some videos of them in situation. So there we go, quite effective. Thanks for watching. Get another video out for you soon.